Hello everybody, nice to see you. Today I will introduce you to mobile advertising. Is the noise, is the sound quite good now? Or sorry, can you hear me? Yes? Okay. So today I'm very happy to introduce you to the mobile advertising and the mobile offer we have here at Google in Southeast Asia and Asia. So here's the agenda. So after these presentations, I would like you to keep in mind some market key figures. I would like also you to remember how you could use Google to advertise your product, your services, your businesses on mobile platforms. And I will quickly introduce you with some examples of successful mobile campaigns. Okay. So, like Dipanjan did just before, I have a few questions for you guys. So according to you, today in the world, how many people are connected to the web with computers? Or how many individuals? Knowing, like, I have a hint for you. I think the first question of Dipanjan, the answer was 21% of the worldwide population is connected online. So
for that, you need to know the world's population.
Please. So any participants, how many people are connected online with a PC? No? Come on, next week.
About 1 billion.
Yes, okay, I give you a prize. And next questions. So it was about PC, but about mobile. I'm not going to ask a question about mobile and internet mobile, but more about how many people in the world own a mobile phone. Come on, yeah?
3 billion.
3 million?
Billion.
Oh, more.
5 billion. No.
Less. 4 billion is correct. Oh. Okay, yeah. So this is like these are the correct answers. So you have 1.6 billion people. Equal. So you have 1.6 billion people who connect online with a PC, and you have today 4 billion people who own a mobile phone. So with these figures, you can imagine that more and more people are going to connect online on internet with their mobile phones. So that's why Morgan Stanley just released a big report on mobile, and one of their conclusions was they believe that more users will likely connect to internet with their mobile devices, more on mobile than on desktop. So you can imagine that all the online advertising, all the business, all the revenue from online advertising is going to shift on mobile, online advertising, or a big chunk is going to shift. That's why it's quite important, if you advertise your product or your services, to consider mobile right now as an option, because in the future you won't have, I think, that much choice if you want to advertise. But if we go back to our region, in Asia Pacific, we still are in a big web world. Most of the countries in these regions are not fully occupied with iPhones, with Android, with PAL. So this is like the map, okay, of our region. Some countries are more advanced. As you could guess, Japan is the head because they are always at the top of technologies and gadgets. Smartphones is already 50% of their mobile car. Hong Kong is second. Australia is not. It's the third biggest country in terms of smartphone adoptions, and Singapore is, I think, the market share of smartphones in Singapore is between 13 and 15%, because this data is from 2009. Okay. Another big number you could remember today is by 2013, in 2 years and a half, almost 50%, half of the sales of the cell phones will be smartphones in the world. And why is this important to Google and to advertisers? Because these new phones, this new category of handsets and smartphones are much more user-friendly when you want to browse the web, when you want to use apps, when you want to log into your Facebook account, when you want to check your stocks, when you want to check your emails. Because if you compare with old-fashioned, old-school web phone, browsing the web is not as nice user-friendly. Okay? So this is like the first graph, the first chart is about the regional mobile search results page on Google over the last 2 years. We observe traffic multiplied by 4 over 2 years. Okay? And if you, the second graph is about the Android and iPhone search rates in Japan over the last 12 months. And you could see that 500% annual growth. So, if you connect this to what Dipanjan just presented, if you already advertise with AdWords desktop, you should consider maybe creating a mobile special campaign. I will get on this a bit later. Interesting graph as well. So, as I pointed just before, this is like an historic graph from 2007 to January of this year, with some introductions of very famous smartphones. You can see the explosive growth of search queries and search engines related to the shopping category. So any search queries such buy, shop, where is the restaurant, cheap flight tickets. Nice graph, a nice slide where you can see that mobile is really part of our life. Mobile is following us everywhere. The mobile has 5 senses. You can use your voice. You can even to call or to speak or even to search. We have Google search with voice in Japan. You can take pictures. Your mobile phone can take pictures. You can use like GPS applications and GPS services such Google Maps as well with your mobile phone. And you can also use a microphone to register some interviews or to use Google Translate, for instance. What about the apps? I'm sure you all saw the big advertisement of Apple maybe last year where they proudly announced that they got more than 1 billion apps applications on the App Store. Today I think it's more than 3 billion applications downloaded to date. And the last information, 25% of iPhone and Android users spend in average 2 hours per day in these applications. So if you own a business or if you have a website, I think you should also consider strongly to develop maybe an application because it's a nice way to connect with your users, with your consumers. It's a different way to interact. And it's all good because once the user is using your applications, he will stick with this application. So this is like a nice example of Google Goggles. Do you know this application? It's developed by Google and it's available on Lexus One. Oh yes, someone knows the application.
Yeah, I know.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Can you explain briefly what it does?
That would be difficult.
What?
Because I've just received my Android Nexus One phone a few days ago.
Okay. So let me give you a quick explanation. So Google Goggles, you can use your Android phone, for instance, and you can take a picture of anything, maybe like a landmark, for instance, a Marion. The application is going to scan the Marion, and the application is going to recognize that your pictures was a picture of the Marion and will give you the result. So this is quite impressive because imagine if you are traveling somewhere, you don't know exactly which statue is in front of you, you can use these applications for free and you can get some information about the location. Mobile and location services, very, very important, especially for retailers or hotels or restaurants. You can, for instance, use Google AdWords and search results to advertise your inventory, your product, and your prices, and you can also get some local search business results, so people can easily find you. Like recently, I launched a campaign for a very famous retailer in Singapore, because they wanted to advertise their different locations within Singapore. They have different stores. One is for senior people, one is for young people, one is for women, one is for men. And they wanted people to find their stores when people are looking on mobile, looking for a nice designer mall in Singapore on Orchard Street. So they could very easily spot the right store on Google Maps. You can also use your mobile with other nice applications such as Google Translate. So for instance, you can speak to your mobile in French, and your mobile will translate what I'm saying in French into any kind of language available. You can also search with the voice instead of typing, which is quite useful. What about our different options if you want to use Google as an advertising model? So you have the sponsored ad listing in Google Maps. So you can list your business in Google Maps, and if some people are looking for restaurants within Google Maps, you can find your restaurant. You have the Near Me Now option, which is available only in the US, but I have a quick video about this service, and I think you will like it. Right. Finger crossed it will come soon.
Have you ever stood outside of a restaurant and wondered if you should go in? The new Near Me Now link, Google search for mobile, automatically shows what's near you. So you can quickly find the information you're looking for without ever having to type or say a thing.
Quite impressive because, for instance, in my example, when I arrived in Singapore in November, I was lost on Orchard Street. I didn't know where I was. You have so many restaurants, so many bars, so many malls. And if I had this option available on my cell phone, I could, oh, wow, I have these restaurants in my area. Oh, these people have given some very good critics about these restaurants. Why not trying these restaurants instead of that one? Quite impressive. Do you have any questions so far? Yeah, please.
John can make a presentation. I think keywords, I mean, how critical those are ads online for that, say. I mean, that search engine on online, how much of the influence it has on the people's purchase or looking at this.
Oh, I have some
between online and mobile searching.
Between online mobile and online desktop.
Yeah.
Okay. I have some key figures just in a few slides. But yeah, good. It's a good reminder for later. And the last option on this slide is the click to call. So it's like AdWords. It's like exactly what Dipanjan presented before. You have sponsored links, but in this sponsored link, you can also add the phone number of your business. So people have the choice between clicking and visiting your website, or clicking and calling directly with our cell phone your business. So it can be quite interesting. We have a case study with, for instance, a travel agent. Some people prefer to book their flights or to book their hotels with calling someone, rather than going to a website and submitting their all the payment information. So the click-to-call option is quite interesting for this business. Why considering advertising on high-end platforms? When I say high-end, it's iPhone, Android, all the smartphones with full web capability. So first, you can increase your market reach, because you don't only target people using internet with desktop, but also internet users who have mobile phones. And as we saw, the mobile users, the internet mobile users are exploding. You can be first in your category because this is quite a new way of advertising. So you can be a pioneer in mobile advertising within your competition. So if you are the first to try it, you will learn some lessons about what you should improve, what you should not doing on mobile, and you will get, I think, a competitive edge about your competitors when they would also advertise on mobile one day. Because the online advertising is still quite new, because the competition is not as fierce as on computers, the cost of clicks are quite cheaper compared to cost of clicks on computers. You can target millions of new users because you have a new reach. You can target iPhone users, you can target iPad users. I'm going to give you a quick demo on how you can easily set up an AdWords campaign on mobile. Okay. So let's go. Let's imagine Dipanjan is back from a business trip. He wants to take his date to a restaurant. So let's imagine Dipanjan will search for romantic restaurants. We are the restaurant owner. So let's create easily a simple AdWords campaign. So let's give a name to the campaign, for instance, restaurant, romantic. We are going to select as a location Singapore because Dipanjan is in Singapore. By the way, the mobile AdWords is the same interface as the desktop AdWords interface. So if you already advertise with AdWords, you can easily create a mobile campaign. Let's select search only. So in the devices, I opt out for desktop and laptop computers, and I'm only selecting iPhones and other mobile services. Okay. What you can do is you can also target the category of devices. If you want, you can target only Android, you can target iPhone, you can target Palm, you can target iPad as well. If you are interested in targeting by mobile carrier, it's possible. But let's target all mobile devices and all carriers. Budget €1 per day. And if you want, you see like the option where you can display your phone number. So if Dipanjan is looking for a nice romantic restaurant in Singapore, we can put the phone number of the restaurant so people can click and book a table directly via the phone. So now we are done with the campaign settings. And the only thing that remains is just to create an ad text. So I'm not going to do it, but you can do it like in 1 minute. We can put in the headline, for instance, romantic restaurants, impress your date, enjoy our Valentine's menu. We can put the URL, and after the URL, we'll be able to display the phone number of the restaurant. So now some case studies coming from the US. So Razorfish is a very famous digital advertising agency, and they were one of the first agencies to try mobile advertising. And according to them, because as we said before, the cost per click is quite cheaper than the cost per click on desktop. We enjoy like good results with a wide range of campaigns. the cost for acquisitions. Conversion means like acquisitions, so you can determine your conversion certain as a sale or as a sign up. So the observation is with our mobile campaigns, you got cheaper conversions on desktop campaigns. And also, I think you had a question just before about keywords.
So that conversion wise.
Yeah.
What's the difference between online desktop search and online mobile search?
Okay.
Is any difference?
So the difference is because in the campaign setting, you can specifically target mobile user. You can really monitor your advertising investments on campaigns and see, okay, I'm going to invest maybe that budget for this desktop campaign, and I want to target specifically mobile users. Because mobile users don't behave as desktop users. As we saw, for instance, if you're on a mobile, I can reach you while you're in the street, while you're on the go, looking for something, for instance. While if you are in front of a computer, most likely you are sitting next to your desk, or even if you have a laptop. I'm not sure for instance, I'm not sure you are going out Saturday night with your laptop in your bag, while if you have a cell phone, I can advertise some services that would be relevant, for instance.
And also, if I can add, look at it this way, the psychology of the user. If a person is using his or her mobile phone to search for something, he or she is probably looking for that service immediately, right? Otherwise, you can always go back home and do the search on your computer. So as a business owner, it's always profitable for you, or chances of converting are higher if you're reaching out to a person who is in need of that something, and that's why he or she is searching on the mobile. There is a certain percentage who are just doing the research, but think about it yourself. If you're searching on the mobile, you want to know something then and there, or buy something then and there, or figure out, right? So the chances of conversion goes high.
Especially those business like starts on the street, like next shop restaurants or those.
Absolutely, absolutely. For anything, if you're a local advertiser, you have a restaurant, like you said, or anything, then chances of conversion are much, much higher.
I know there is a company in Singapore doing mobile advertising, and they just got some deals with some retailers. So, for instance, the retailers will advertise some special discounts, special offers in their shops to users, to mobile users within like 500 meters, 1 kilometer area. So mobile plus location is quite powerful, and also mobile is very, very good for local businesses. If you have a restaurant or an hotel, you could use mobile quite in an efficient way, and you don't need to spend millions of dollars to get results. Okay. And the last example is about quality leads from click to call. So as we mentioned before, this is an example of a travel agent who advertise on computers on keywords such as travel agency. So if you are on computers, you will see this ad, like for instance, World Travel Adventures. We can help you to book or to tailor your next trip. But if you advertise on mobile, we did a mobile campaign. We had this option of putting the click-to-call option, where in the ad, or like, okay guys, if you want, you can also call us right now, so we can help you to book or to organize your next trip. And they compare the results, and they had like 22% more likely clients likely to book travel on flights with them, so they are quite happy with this campaign. And I think that's it for me. If you have any questions about mobile advertising. Yes, shoot.
How would you compare the performance for CPC on the desktop versus the mobile so far? I mean, in terms of the click-through rate.
Okay, so it's all about using the AdWords interface. You have, in your interface, you will have like one search, let's say one desktop campaign, one mobile campaign, and you can see for the same keywords how people are behaving, how people are clicking, and you can then see the difference of cost per clicks and cost per acquisitions. Because you have less competition on mobile, chances are your cost per click will be cheaper. I can show you a quick tool which is external, so you can see what is the amount of search queries you have on some keywords in Singapore, for instance. So let's go. So this is the AdWords keyword tool. This is external, this is free, and you should definitely use it if you build an AdWords campaign. So let's take the restaurant example in Singapore. So this tool will give us the amount of search queries you have in Singapore around the search query restaurant. And we can see the difference between the search queries on mobile or between mobile and desktop. Let's try it. So this is on mobile plus desktop. So you can see that, for instance, on the keyword restaurant city, per month in Singapore you have 60,500 search queries. But if it's only on mobile, let's do it again. On restaurant, just restaurant only, it's only 6,600. So you can see that the amount of search queries on computer is still higher than the amount of search queries on mobile. And you can also use this tool to get an idea of the cost per click. If you ask the tool to give you the estimated average CPC, so I don't believe it's free for restaurants. So the tool is not 100% accurate, but it can give you an idea, for instance, for seafood. If you want to bid on this keyword on mobile, because I ticked on mobile, the average cost per click will be around 50 cents English currency. Okay? So yeah, definitely you should use this tool to get an idea on how much a click will cost within your campaign. And let's go back. Do you have any additional questions? Because this is the end almost. Any questions? If you want to try mobile advertising, we have a couple of vouchers, as Dipanjan gave away before. So feel free to try. It's quite easy. And we will be. You have a question?
Yes, for mobile search, right? A lot of us search via the application rather than our browser.
Yes. It's quite true. So yeah. In conclusion, I wanted to say that if you want to have a strong presence online, first you should consider to have like a mobile version of your website, because even if iPods and Android phones can easily browse any website, you should consider to have a mobile version because it's much more user-friendly. You should also consider developing an application, and you should also consider having like some specific online advertising campaigns. But application, yeah, definitely. Yes. People are using, as we saw just before, like people are spending in average 2 hours per day with browsing using applications. And yeah. No.
Like for, we build applications, so for me, right, I feel that when it comes to mobile searching, application works better than organic search on the browser. Because there's different types on a web, on a Safari or Opera TV browser, and use application where it's much easier.
Okay, so I think it's a very valid point. Applications are growing, so do usage of smartphones. So I think, as we saw, like today in Singapore, we have only between 13 and 15% of people using smartphones. So until we get to 100%, I think people are still going to use a lot applications and Google or other search engine to search on mobile. And I think, yes, you're right that maybe the search engine won't have like such a big market share in search queries. But I can't predict, I can't really comment. Yes?
Is the ads to be displayed in the ad box?
In the AdMob ad?
Is this advertisement will be included in the ad box?
So far we can't really comment. But I think...
If I put my ad in the mobile section of this thing, will the result be displayed in the...
In the AdMob dashboard? I think so, yes. Yes. Of course.
Because many applications are creating the ad box.
I think you can measure within AdMob, but I'm not 100% right. Okay, so I think now it's time to move on, and it's Beilan is going to introduce you to the content network.